Hi, I'm Olivia, and obviously I'm not bald right now. But the point is, I was bald, and I want to discuss my experience with that. So I shaved my head in my first year of university. I had just moved to London and I was walking around Central and I'd wanted to do it for such a long time. So I just walked into a barber and I was like, shave my hair. And they were like, that'll be £25. And I said, never mind. Walked into a different barber. I got them to do it for closer to £10. And I'm sat in the chair and the guy's like, are you sure? Like, you can't change your mind. You can't go back. And I'm like, yes. So I shaved my head and that was that. And I think a part of the reason that I'd done it, so I shaved my head in October 2019, and that summer I had been in India doing my yoga teacher training, and I met one of the most inspiring, just the coolest women ever. And this one woman was just so lively, just an explorer. She just had this energy about her. And when we were in India, we all kind of tucked up together on our day off on a Sunday, and we went to a barber and she got her hair shaved because we were doing the yoga teacher training. It was like a spiritual experience, and it was just so entertaining to see these Indian men what is this white girl doing? And she looked great, and it was playing on my mind a lot once I got back. And I had always wanted to do it, but I was always too afraid. And I feel like my hair had just grown out so much and I didn't know what to do with it. And I feel like when you're a mixed race, but when you're black and you have black hair is so important, so insanely important. And I was just ready to get rid of it. I'd had enough. It takes so much time and effort. I just wanted it gone. I felt free, I felt liberated, I felt iconic, but sometimes I felt invisible. One of the pluses for me about having my hair shaved off was I was the fittest I'd ever been in my life, and I am absolutely sure that me being bald played a part in that, because I wasn't thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do this on Thursday, so I don't want to be super sweaty and I need my hair to be second day hair because it looks best. All of these thoughts were just erased from my brain. I didn't have to plan when I was going to wash my hair. I could just go, get sweaty, come back, have a shower, my hair would be dry and immediately, and I could go to sleep. And that was just unheard of for me, so that was really good. So around the time I cut my hair was also around the time that I started wearing makeup regularly for the first time. And I also got a wig for the first time shortly after I shaved my hair, so I could switch my look up a lot. And it was when I became conscious of how much your appearance influences the way that people treat you, and I couldn't tell if it was something internal or external. So did I feel good about myself so people were treating me better, or were people treating me better because I looked better? I couldn't tell. I really enjoyed being actually bald. It was just iconic and people remember you. And even this year, years later, I'm living with someone and they're like, oh my gosh, I remember you, you were bald and you were always on campus with your headphones. Yeah, I lived in people's minds, apparently. But yeah, the male gaze is really interesting. I don't want to consider, but obviously it dominates. It's something that is a part of our society, and it's something I'm aware of. The way I get treated when I have braids in compared to wearing a straight wig, compared to being bald, people perceive you differently and have different thoughts about you, and it's just very weird when you're the same person on the inside to know that you can influence and change what people think about you just based on your appearance. So it's important and I should probably care about it more, but let's not stress. As a mixed race or a black woman, I think it's really important and cool to shave your hair, but let me warn you, growing that out is going to be the worst thing ever. Thank God for the pandemic. Somebody was watching over me that I didn't have to do that when other people were watching me, because there's stages where you can't even do the finger curls. Like, I was looking like a hot mess some of the times. Like, it was not cute at all. When I could finally tie my hair back up, I was like, praise God, because it was the in-between stages. I knew when I shaved my hair that I was going to have to experience that, but I didn't know how drastic and terrible it would be. There were some cute moments, but overall, have a plan or an idea for how you're going to grow your hair out, because the bald era itself, amazing. Growing it out, I don't ever want to remember that. I probably will shave my head again, but like, I'm going to ignore the fact. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, just thinking about some of the looks that I pulled when I was growing my hair out, it wasn't cute. But it also really encouraged me to dye my hair, because I was like, if it goes wrong and my hair gets damaged, there's little to nothing left, because I can just shave it and go bald again. So we had pink hair, we had blue hair, which I cannot show images of because it looked terrible. But yeah, shaving your head is actually linked with mental health crisis, because when there's all of this emotional stuff going on inside, you can control something if you shave your hair. It's like you regaining control over something, and I don't know why I had the urge to shave my hair, but like in that first term of uni, I was just like, I need to do it, I want to shave my hair, like blah blah blah. Maybe I felt like I was out of control because I had moved away from home for the first time, whatever. To be fair, I was doing mentally well at that period in time, so I don't know where that came from, but it just happened that I actually shaved my hair on World Mental Health Day on the 10th of October, and someone on my course was like, probably like a few weeks after I'd shaved my hair, came up to me and he was like, are you okay? Like, what happened? Like, I thought something had happened to you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, he was like, it's given 13 reasons why. Like, he thought there was something wrong. Some people see it as a cry for help, which is why it can be linked with being an unhinged person. Being bald is linked with so many things: grief, religion, culture, choice. That is very interesting. So let's do a little bit of an exploration. I also want to say that hair is definitely powerful. Like, think, why are Sikhs growing their hair? Why is there the story of Samson in the Bible? Why did Native Americans not cut their hair? It's because there's power in your hair. So shaving it is taking control. This was a completely unfounded statement because I don't know in detail about everything I just said, but I'm just saying it's a way to take control. Okay, so let's discuss some culturally significant women who were bald, and I am going to start with the legendary Miss Britney Spears. She is America's sweetheart. She's a blonde bombshell. But in 2007 to 2008, she was having a very, very public mental health breakdown. She was being hounded by the press. We now know, with things that came out, she was having familial problems with a conservatorship with her dad that was put in place shortly after this crisis, and she was going through a divorce with her ex, Kevin Federline. So Britney went to a barbershop to get her hair shaved off. They wouldn't do it, and she picked up the shears and she did it herself in front of the paparazzi. It was a cry for help. She was being hounded by the press, and it was her asking to be seen as a human being. It was her shedding her identity of being this sex icon in America. It was her being like, please leave me alone. Like, I don't want to be looked at anymore. And we cannot talk about bald Britney without discussing the iconic photo of her with the umbrella and in the grey hoodie banging onto a paparazzi's car. She had a terrible day the day that those pictures were taken. She had gone to her ex's house to try and pick up her children, and he wouldn't open the gates to let her in. She was obviously not doing well mentally, and she was still being hounded for photographs, and she just hit breaking point. She was like, please, like, leave me alone. I'm just trying to live my life. And I don't think any of us can imagine what she must have been going through. She was in the spotlight since she was a young girl. And to have all eyes on you like that, and the way paparazzi were in the 2000s, like, so invasive, so, like, you cannot have a personal life because everything about you is scrutinised. And yeah, obviously she ended up having a crisis. Britney has since been very open about her struggles with bipolar disorder, so think what she must have been experiencing at that time. Like, my heart actually goes out to her. It must have been awful for her, especially as a mother, to have your worst moments highlighted, never can be erased, like a cultural moment. So yeah, obviously had to discuss Britney there. Next I can only speak on her briefly, but Amber Rose, come on. She is so iconic with that bleach blonde, cropped buzz cut. Hate to bring him up, but the first interaction with Amber Rose is as Kanye's girlfriend, and he had the crazy shaved bald head as well. Like, she's just so iconic. Like, it's just a legendary moment. So shout out to Amber Rose and her slut walk work. Amber Rose actually said that she was inspired by another woman, Sinead O'Connor, who also has bipolar disorder. Again, there's definitely a link with mental health and shaving your head. But she was horrifically abused as a child, and apparently the reason that she cut her hair is because she had a sister who was ginger. Sinead O'Connor is Irish, would you believe it, with a last name like that. So she had a sister who was ginger, and her mum would introduce Sinead as the beautiful daughter and her sister as the ugly daughter. And she said, I didn't want any part in that. I shaved my hair so nobody can be saying those things about me and comparing me to my sister. So everyone has their reasons. That is the horrible and sad reason behind her cutting her hair. We cannot talk about bold women in 2022 without mentioning Jada Pinkett Smith, because she was the reason for the iconic Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. She has alopecia, and she has been very open online talking about that and how she shaved her head, and Chris Rock made a joke about it. And Will was like, no, it's obvious, hair is a really sensitive thing, so don't do it. Don't do it. It's a no-go zone. Other bold women of note, of course, Lupita Nyong'o, and then we have Natalie Portman. Then we have Anne Hathaway in Les Mis, and she plays a prostitute, and she has her head shaved, her hair cut into, it's to strip away someone's identity. And hair is obviously a huge part of your identity, and as a woman it's how you perceive as being beautiful and all these things. So it's just, why do you think people were crying when they had to have their hair cut in America's Next Top Model? It's because they don't want to let go of their hair and their emotions that are attached to it. Honestly, I don't know where I was going with this. I just wanted to have a short, sweet, small exploration of boldness in women in defense of the bold era. I hope that you enjoyed hearing me talk about these things, and I'll see you later. Bye.